Hello, and welcome to another episode of Skinterviews by Nathan and George. We are in season 2. It's well underway. I'm one of your two hosts. My name is George Scandalis, and this stud muffin
is Nathan Strong.
How are you, Nathan Strong?
I'm very good, buddy. How are you?
You know what? I'm loving you a little bit extra.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's because, we've been traveling back and forth from Ottawa to Toronto. We've actually got to spend quite a bit of time together the last little while. And I hate to admit it, but I think that the emotion I'm feeling might be missing you.
Oh, that's big.
I don't know.
I must admit, I love having you in my bubble, in my family's bubble, and
it's a good bubble, right?
It's a great bubble.
It's a great bubble.
It's like my kids now have 3 dads. they have me, you, and Ellie. It's great.
Listen, I love your kids more than I love all of you. And I told you, if you and your wife want to go on a vacation, you just give me the kids. I don't know what they'll come back like. They'll probably be wild animals when I'm done with them and very spoiled, but you guys go do your thing. And now that you have the third one coming, you're going to need that time. You know what? Post-COVID, when we drop them off, you may regret that. So actually, you know what? I never thought of this. You're having a COVID baby.
I am having a COVID baby.
So that's what you were doing when you weren't on Skinterviews, eh? Yeah, I think your wife should be thanking me that I gave her a little bit of a break with starting Skinterviews with you. And before we get into an R rating, I want to thank FullScript for sponsoring Season 2 because FullScript is the ultimate platform for those who want to do wellness the right way, the personal way. It has the industry's most comprehensive catalog of 300 plus professional quality products, making safe supplements more accessible and affordable, and making personalized treatment plans possible from the doctor to the patient. And what's really exciting about FullScript is that now if you're already ordering wholesale bulk products from it, this is more so for the doctor viewers, you can now conveniently shop from the same place you send virtual recommendations to your patients. You can get it all there. So whether online or on your shelf, all of your supplementation needs can be managed from one platform on FullScript. It's got more the catalog's expanded even further, which is quite amazing. And you can declutter your dispensing experience while saving money on bulk discounts and shipping perks. And if you're not on FullScript, don't let me find out. I'm coming after you. Anyhow, that's my deal, right?
They're taking technology to another level, FullScript, aren't they? Really, they make things so easy for the physician.
You know what? They're an outstanding company beyond the fact whether people are on it, because I think doctors should take the initiative and really get into that, health and wellness 360 approach. I think it's their responsibility as a doctor to do so, but I'm not going to get into that so I don't offend anybody. But on a technology side, what FullScript has actually developed, if you play around with their dispensing series and their website, it's phenomenal. Like they're advanced.
They're very
advanced. I think they have a head office in Ottawa, right?
They do.
Yeah. So support Canadian companies like we support our lovely guest tonight.
We do. But before our guest, we've got something something a little bit exciting coming up soon.
Are we talking about it on this episode?
We are.
I thought you said we were going to wait. You're just so excited. You want to show everybody.
I do want to show everyone.
Wow, you called me out on air just to sneak one by me, eh?
Of course I do.
Oh my God, we have guest comments too, and we're going to talk about them as well. But all right, Nathan, now that you said it, I can't stop it. So let it out.
We've got something launching really soon.
Do you have the date?
Do you have the date, George?
I do. I have the date and I have the launch date of what you want to show today. But it was the launch date of what you want to show today is like 4 days away. But the launch date of the episode is October 19th. But you're just too excited, so you want to show it.
I do want to show it.
All right.
Because we are taking Skinterviews into a clinic near you.
On location, baby. Skinterviews on location. Let's watch our opening trailer.
Okay, here we go.
Appreciate it if you stop telling what to do. You're not the boss.
Okay, and then we'll just come up higher. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Wow. Well,
Wow.
out of the bag. Everybody knows that we've now started Skinterviews on location. We actually have already filmed our first on location episode. Make sure to catch it on October the 19th. Nathan just put us way ahead of our marketing plan, but I still love the guy. Now, that video did get some comments where it was released according to our schedule. And Dr. Anna Guanche asks, so who's the boss? You know, Dr. Guanche, you're the boss. You're the boss. I mean, you say jump and we both say how high. And we both know Nathan can jump higher than me. I'm a little chubbier, a little shorter. But, you know, if the boss, it's you. We got another user comment here about Dr. Hamra. One female user said in the comment to me, oh my God, he is so handsome. Is he single? No, he's not. He's a family man. He's got a baby on the way. So move on. Find yourself another doctor. But I will let him know that you said that he's very handsome. In fact, he is really handsome. And beyond being really handsome, if you didn't catch that into the interview, he's a really, really great guy. Like a really great guy. Are we ready for our guest today? Have we talked enough, Nathan?
I'm so excited about this guest today.
Yeah, she's pretty special. I'm going to read parts of her bio. You want to say something before I do?
I just think she'll talk about it, but she's been around the industry a long time. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but I can't wait to hear her story tonight because it's a fantastic story. And it just shows you, it's just so inspiring that anyone, if they work hard and make the right decisions, can really do well in this industry. And she is, it's a phenomenal story. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to spoil anything.
You know, you're out of the two of us, you're the optimist and I'm the pessimist. I don't think anyone can do really well in this industry. I think it takes a special person and a special personality, and she's definitely got it. That's where we're going to agree today, Nathan. I'm almost half agreeing with you. So let me read a few notes I have on our guest today. She's wildly regarded as a true leader within the skincare industry because she brings a wealth of sales and business development experience from her 36 plus years with a number of highly successful and well-recognized Canadian companies. That 36 is going to seem so odd to people because she does not look old enough to be 36 years in this industry. Expertise bringing and developing new brands to market and an advanced skincare trainer, my kind of girl. Her background, which began as an esthetician, encompasses extensive day spa, medical spa, and senior sales management responsibilities. Skincare training and education entrepreneurial ventures. She also co-founded and managed a very successful Sanctuary International Day Spas chain. She is driven, charismatic, and well-respected senior executive with strong reputation as a business builder and sales revenue generator within the medical cosmetic sectors. She is a pescatarian and quotes herself as saying, avocado on toast is a favorite of mine. That's just the kind of person that she is. She's lovely. She's bubbly. She doesn't take herself too seriously. Anybody that has her reputation, that has that to say on their bio, that I'm a pescatarian, is someone you're going to want to get to know. We know her from the industry, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to know her. I want to bring onto the show tonight, without further ado, Ready, Nathan?
I am ready.
All right. Valerie Potter-Johns, affectionately known as Val. Hey, hey, hey!
Woo!
Hey guys, look at you. You're doing fabulous. What a great little tease. I can't wait to see you're on location. I'm so excited. What a great idea. Fantastic.
We're so excited to have you here. I mean, the one thing I didn't mention in your bio because I waited to get you on here, so I didn't give it away too soon. SMC Products, VP, co-owner, business development manager. Wow.
SCM.
SCM. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
And yes, I'm a partner with my husband in the business, and but I am the face of the company, and I manage the sales team, and really, help to really drive the business. So it's a wonderful partnership. We're really happy. We bought the business 7 years ago, and as you guys know, we distribute the Zeo Skin Health line in Eastern Canada and many other things, and I'll touch on some of those tonight.
For sure. I love the Zeo shelf in the background. Like, can I just come steal everything one by one by one?
Yes. This is my personal selection. This is what I use every day. I'm like, what am I going to do today? How does Val Skin feel today? What type of regime am I going to be using? And it's wonderful that with a line like Zeo Skin Health, you can use multiple protocols and change your skincare seasonally, or just basically because you're trying to improve your results a little bit. So nothing has to stay the same. It's continuously changing.
Do you have back there the Zeo Eye Firming Gel that just launched?
Not yet. We'll have it in our warehouse in October the 19th. Oh. And so we'll have it soon. So promise to get you guys some as soon as it arrives.
If it was, I would like reach in like this.
Listen, if it was back there, I'd be putting it on my eyes.
Girl, your eyes don't need it. Look how beautiful your skin is. You're radiant.
Guys, it's a passion.
Good.
And like you said, I've been in the industry a very long time. So I've always had the opportunity of using very good skincare products. And I've been told many times when I walk into a new clinic or a prospection, and when they do decide to take Zeo, they'll say something to me, and I take it as the most wonderful compliment. They'll say, well, you had the nicest skin of any skincare rep that came in. So, So it's like selling. It really does. It's kind of a pat on the back. So that's good.
I better hope I've never been into anything.
I knew that comment was going to cause problems.
I want a list of all your accounts. I'm going to see whose ass I'm going to kick.
I'm not sharing those secrets.
Listen, if I'm going to be second to someone's skin, I want it to be to yours.
Thank you. Thank you.
I do.
It was always wonderful sitting indirectly across the table from both of you, and you both did a great job. And I've always believed in the industry that there's enough room for everybody to play in the sandbox. You just have to be really good at what you do. And you have to have great products when you're promoting them and believe in them as well.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. Should we get right into?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you ready to go?
I am.
You ready to get wild?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm going to take it back to day zero, as I like to call it. You enter this world, you take your first breath, and your parents decide to name you. Was it always Valerie Potter-Johns? Is there a middle name? Is there any meaning to your name?
Well, I was actually named after my aunt in England, because I was born in England. And I have an Auntie Val. And she is my mom's sister. And she is a very special person and has been in my life. She's a very strong woman. And so I am her namesake. But my name is actually Valerie Ann Marie. And I was born, and don't laugh, please. Not Paul. Nuttall. So I received a lot of teasing as a kid with a name like Nuttall. I used to get called Nutty. So when the chance came to change my name to Potter and Potter-Johns, I embraced that opportunity.
So Valerie Anne Marie
Nuttall.
Nuttall. Oh, I can imagine kids in the UK would have jumped on that.
Well, actually, I was born in Manchester, Trafford Park. So I'm an avid Man United fan. My house was basically 2 streets away from the playing field, and there's a lot of Nuttalls in Lancashire. So it was actually a very popular last name. So not so much teasing in England, but more teasing when I came to Canada.
Okay.
That's not very nice. What siblings? Do you have any siblings?
I'm the oldest of 4. So I have 2 younger sisters, and I have a baby brother who actually lives in Spain.
Wow. Okay, so 4 of you.
Yes.
4 little Nuttles running around.
Yeah.
Who was mom and dad's favorite growing up?
I think to a certain degree, I was always in charge of all 4 of the children. So I had a tremendous amount of responsibility placed on me at a young age. But quite frankly, that role suited my personality because I've always been a little bit bossy. So being the oldest was perfect because I could boss the other ones around. I think probably the favorite was Matthew, my brother, because they waited a very long time to get him. So he was, but in fact, he was all of our favorites because we just loved having a baby brother. So he probably was and still is the favorite. And I just had a great role within that family dimension.
Well, being able to handle 3 younger siblings and being that responsibility role, no wonder you're good at handling all the reps. Because you're still your mama rep, right?
Mama rep, absolutely.
Mama rep, that's it.
So it's that's what managing reps really is all about. It's about really understanding the different personalities and what makes people tick. I have a bit of a different style when it comes to managing my team. I really believe in autonomy. I believe in creativity, and I'm not what you would call a micromanager. My team knows the number that has to be achieved, and I believe in them so much that we achieve those numbers. So I have a bit of a different way of doing business that way, but it works and it's highly successful for my personality and for the people that I hire as well.
Excellent. And a big shout out to your reps. I'm friends with a few of them on the road. We used to bump into each other at events and stuff, and they're all lovely.
They really are. I've got a great team. Yeah. And they've worked really hard during the COVID lockdowns, and we've all had to. My favorite word to the team this last 6 months has been pivot. Like, we have to pivot. We cannot do things the way we did. We have to pivot. We have to be creative, and it's not business as usual, and it won't be business as usual for a long time, if ever. I think our industry might have changed significantly for a very long time.
I think you're right. I really do think you're right. And we're gonna get into a business section a little bit later, but I want to keep down the memory lane a little bit.
Yes.
So the 4 of you growing up, the four of you, your brother, your one brother, your sisters, what was something that you remember from the young childhood days that you would do as a family in the weekend, apart from watching football at Old Trafford, that sort of brought you all together?
Well, when I was young, my dad did deep sea diving.
Oh.
So he was, and that was his hobby. So on the weekend, we would, as a family, pack up the car and a tent, and then we would go to where they were doing a dive for the weekend. So the dive could be off the coast of Wales, or it could be in a quarry, where you see the guys that scale down the side of the quarry, and we'd be running around and playing and watching them. And we would have a tremendous amount of outdoors time and just fun. And then that camping experiences that we just loved actually came to Canada with us as a family. And then we started to experience the great Canadian outdoors. And it really, I still love, I don't camp anymore, cottage, so I'm cottaging, but I just love being outside and embracing nature that way.
So at what age did your parents bring the family out to Canada?
I came to Canada when I was 13.
Okay.
A very difficult time to leave a convent in England.
Wow.
So I went to a convent and then came to a school where, Mississauga, where nobody was wearing uniforms, and it was crazy times, but we adapted. We knew we were here to stay, and that family unit kept us together and kept us from being so sad that we'd left all of our family in England.
Cool. And birthdays, what's a favorite birthday of yours that you remember when you were growing up?
Favorite birthday? That's a tough one. I think I remember 16 because I think that has to be my favorite because I'm a September baby. So I started doing in-class pre-driving lessons before I was 16. So when the day came that I turned 16, I got my 365 that day, and I had my driver's license about 4 weeks later. So for me, driving was freedom. And I was lucky enough that, my parents were very liberal and they would give me the keys to the car. So that 16th birthday to me equates freedom.
That's awesome. I like that. And speaking about growing up, what do you think was the most important lesson that your parents taught you, your brother and your sisters when you were growing up?
To be very adventurous. My parents have led a very adventurous life. They've lived in Guadeloupe. They've lived in the Caribbean for many, many years. My dad had a building contract in the Caribbean. They lived in Florida. They've always had that entrepreneurial spirit. So really it was just being creative and kind of being a little bit thinking outside of the box, but being free to do things that you want to do. My parents really instilled that in us, all of us.
When's your birthday? September what? Because we just missed it.
Yeah.
27th.
Oh, wow.
Happy
Really?
belated.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Had a great birthday.
When we're out of COVID, we're buying you lunch.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Tell me about your best friend, either that you left behind when you moved to Canada, and are you still friends today? And or maybe a best friend growing up here in Canada that really made an impact and shaped your life.
Yes. So unfortunately, at the age of 13, no internet, no social media, writing letters, basically. A lot of those friendships did not last. Even that being said, I have great relationships with my cousins that are in England. So, friendships at that age, at that time, just wasn't in the early 70s. It just wasn't going to be easy, put it that way. But that being said, I have some 3 very good girlfriends that I met in early grade 9. And the 3 of them are very different. None of them are friends together, but they're my friends. One of them is a lawyer. One of them is a manager of a big, large building. And the other one has retired now, but she was actually with the police department. And we have types of relationships where we can not see each other for months, and then we just pick up where we left off. So I always say to people, I am the very best bad friend. Because I really don't have time for lots of lunches and, getting together. But I promise them that when we do get together, it will be valuable and we'll pick up where we left off, and we do enjoy each other's companies.
Amazing. Since you said grade 9, and now I'm thinking about you from grade 9, your friends, your 365 at 16, I want to know what your prom dress looked like.
Oh, that's a great question. I had a bright yellow with a high neck, V in the front, but like it was all mesh. But basically, it was canary yellow. It was really ugly when I looked at it. It was really ugly.
It would have looked great though at that time.
Yeah, no,
so in.
I felt great in it.
Yeah,
I don't like the look of it now.
And one of the questions we ask all our guests is we ask them for an embarrassing or funny story. And to give you an idea of some of the things we've heard, we've had doctors that have peed themselves, doctors that have fallen asleep during a date. We've had people that were, as children, they got into really naughty trouble and got stopped by the cops. I want you to tell me a Val story that would kind of explain a funny moment in your life or something that's very typical. We have certain people that stub their toe everywhere, but I want a Val funny, embarrassing story.
I've got so many. I could write a book on very funny, embarrassing stories. Some of them I cannot share, but
those are the ones
making me laugh thinking about them. I have a couple of funny things. I used to train a line called Phytomare, which is a body line that has a very extensive body care line.
Yeah.
And I think the estheticians that are in the industry and people could relate to this story. So I'd been booked to do a skincare training and a body treatment training. And I asked them to find a model, and we would be coming in and we'd be doing a seaweed body wrap.
Oh no.
And they hadn't managed to find a model. So I actually had to use one of the rep, that was her account. I used the rep as the model. So when you're doing a seaweed body wrap training, you go really heavy with the seaweed. Like you go thick and you make it nice, and so it looks nice, right? So you're nice and green and you're covered. And then you're wrapped in a hot blanket and plastic. And then I unwrapped the wrap. And I said, okay, so now we're going to take her to the shower, and she's going to shower the seaweed off. And they said, we don't have a shower. You don't have a shower? You want to do body treatment? So then I had to get like bowls of cleaning my rep. It took hours to get all
wow.
Another episode where I walked into a room and I actually had a big jump because I thought there was a cat in the room, but it was actually someone who'd taken off her hairpiece and just thrown it on the floor. I've had other experiences where I've had doing a facial treatment on a hydraulic bed, and get to the part where you're doing the massage and the hydraulic bed starts to go down and down and down and down. And I keep massaging and I'm on my knees and I'm keep massaging. The bed now is on the floor, and the patient thinks that they're having a really value-added treatment because the table's going up and down at the same time. So that's just a couple of them. Like honestly, there's so many. It's funny.
Oh my God, I don't think enough people watching can appreciate this unless they've worked as an esthetician to really understand those moments. That is amazing. I really want to know the ones we're not allowed to see on camera, but
we can do that off here.
That's the lunch ones.
That's the lunch ones. That's the lunch ones.
I love the fact that we only asked for one, and you were happy to give us 3 or 4.
I love to laugh, and you have to laugh, and
I agree.
It makes life that much more enjoyable if you've got a good sense of humor with it, for sure.
So some of the people that I get along with the most in the industry are people that focus a lot on education. As someone who teaches at Centennial myself, and I always pick the brains of all the skincare educators, all the teachers, all the dermatologists that are really educationally focused. I want to know, since you are a skincare educator for a long time, was there a teacher that really, whether it's in our industry or high school or elementary school, that really made an impact in your life, whether it was a positive one or a negative one that changed you?
I had a really wonderful grade 8 teacher, and she was really creative and allowed us to do a lot of extra things like putting on our own shows and doing fundraisers, and it was so different for me to have a teacher that was so creative. And she let me open up a little snack bar, kind of like a little snack bar area when we had school dances. So I was on the phone calling the chip company. I forget which one it was, but at grade 8, I was negotiating buying boxes of chips that we could bring into our school grade 8 school dances that we could sell, and that would be a way that we could meet our fundraiser challenges. So that was a really great teacher. As far as in the industry, I think I've learned a tremendous amount from every single position that I've actually held, to be the truth. Yeah. So every single position I held, every company that I worked for, basically paved the way to where I am today. And I appreciate all of the people I've worked with in the past, including the companies, for the knowledge that companies really do share with people. I look at today, ZEO has an extensive education department that is really beneficial. When I was working for other companies, I really feel that every little tidbit of knowledge that I got from them, I've kept here, and it makes me do a better job today. So it's been evolving. Education for me is critical, and I love learning new things today. And I do all the time. I'm always looking for new innovations, new treatments that are available, new ways of using products that we know how to use, but how can we maximize this? What can I do a little bit different with, let's say, my exfoliating polish to enjoy it more?
My favorite.
Yeah, I know, it's wonderful.
Obsessed.
It's almost. I almost know when I sample this to a prospect that they're going to open with ZEO for sure, because the polish is phenomenal.
So I'll tell you a little story, not so we go too far off topic, because I know Nathan's going to get in here with his questions and I'm cutting you off. But I went in for, one of the perks of our job when we're reps and being on the road is that we get treatments, right? Like there's always a clinic that's willing to say thank you for your service, and I get this wonderful facial, and they were a client of the company I worked for at the time. And they used the exfoliating polish on me. I bought one. I literally finished the facial. Like, I'll buy one of these, but you can't tell anybody just yet I'm buying it till I get it home. And ever since then, it's like a staple in my routine. I use it all the time.
Yeah, it's a wonderful exfoliator. People really, it's so pleasurable to use. It's so fresh. It's got that melaleuca and those beautiful oxide crystals. Just a wonderful product to use.
I'm sorry, I cut you off there, but I was so excited about it.
Don't worry.
Speaking of education, Val, I must say, when I was working in the skincare side of the industry, I always appreciated when I went into an account of yours to train them for the first time, because I always knew that their level of skin would be at a very, very high level. Like, I must congratulate you and your team in regards to how you train your accounts, because I always find that with the ZEO accounts, their knowledge is a lot more superior than a lot of the other accounts out there. So I must applaud you for the education programs that you've been putting together over the years, because I see it working really well and out there in the industry. But let's talk about home life for you. So you work with your husband, you live with your husband. So, like, who's the boss? Who's the real boss when it comes to the home stuff?
I'm the boss. I am definitely the boss. No questions asked. The way it is.
Oh, there's no.
If you ask him, he'd probably say he is the boss, but he really knows I am the boss. You even call me boss babe, so that's a compliment. So, no, we have very different skill sets, and we complement each other very much. But definitely, I know what I like.
I love that. I love how you just didn't hesitate at all. You just went for it. It's that entrepreneurial spirit in you, taking every opportunity you get. So
that's the way it is.
Yeah. So speaking about your relationship with your husband, I want to ask a few questions about it. So, what's one thing that you do that you really think annoys the hell out of your husband?
Probably my spontaneity, because I run a lot off the gut, and he is absolutely a thought processed, very thoughtful. Has to have the plan, and I can pivot very quickly, and because I have that feeling that we have to do this and we have to do this right now. So he'll have to take it in, he'll have to think about it, and I think anybody that knows both of us would agree that would probably annoy my husband the most. But at the same time, he appreciates that fact that I will pivot and I will say, no, we have to change it. We have to do it this way, and we have to do it this way for this reason. So we don't argue about it, but I think that he would find that very frustrating with me.
And I have to ask this question to see if he actually watches the show. What's the one thing that he does that annoys you?
What I'm going to tell you, probably every other woman watching this will say, oh my God, I would love it if my husband was like that. He's got a little bit of OCD. He's extremely neat.
Wow.
And tidy. And he likes to vacuum the bathroom every single day. And I've got blonde hair, and my hair falls out. And I always know that vacuum's going to come out. So he's really, really tidy. He's a neat, very neat, tidy person. So that can be a little bit annoying some of the time. But everybody, some people watching will say, that would be my dream to have someone do that. So I'm not really complaining, but it can be irritating.
Cool. And was it love at first sight for you two, or did you grow on each other?
We grew on each other.
Okay.
Yeah, we grew. I noticed that he had really nice shoes. I liked his shoes. I was looking at his face and I was thinking, do I tint his eyebrows or his eyelashes? What do I do here? Because he's got platinum gray hair. And I was like, do I tint the eyebrows and the eyelashes, or do I just, is that going to be okay? Anyway, I've learned to love all of him. But no, definitely, our love definitely grew on each other for sure.
Okay, and Val, I'm going to bring up a collage of photos here, because I want to bring up some photos of your favorite things, and I'd love you just to talk us through them.
Well, it's very funny. The avocado and toast there was the best I've ever had. I had that in Fort Lauderdale, and I had to take a picture of it. It was absolutely delicious. And I've recreated it nearly every other day for breakfast since, without the edible flour, of course. The red chair with a glass of wine. This is my happy place. This is our retreat where we go to every weekend, all through the summer. And this year we'll keep it open and we'll keep going through the winter. It's our cottage, and it's our family gathering place. And it's extremely important for me. My husband there in the middle photo, looking really great, and this is a beautiful picture. This was a year and a half post triple heart bypass surgery.
Wow!
So this was a wonderful trip, because it was one of our first trips that we'd had after the surgery. The bread is my sourdough bread, and like so many during the initial lockdown, I became a baker. I've never baked anything in my life. I am so proud of this loaf of bread, because I actually started it from the starter, where I made my own starter, and then I created this masterpiece. And this little angel, love of my life, is my granddaughter, Riley.
Oh,
awesome. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your favorite things. And I've got one more question before I pass you on to George. And it's back to your husband again. I'm really curious to know who made the first move.
We were actually introduced to each other.
Oh.
So we had we were both really busy, and we were introduced by a mutual friend. So that's how we met, and we actually dated for like at least 6 months before we even introduced my daughters to my husband. So it was it was a very long, very nice, it really became great friends.
Yeah.
And it was a very organic kind of relationship. It was wonderful. First time he actually met me, I had a crick in my neck because I pulled my suitcase off the belt at the airport, and I couldn't move my neck. So the next time he met me, I'd broken my toe.
Oh no!
So I was walking with crutches. He kept asking me out for another date, but it was fun.
That's amazing. Listen, life on the road, we're notorious for it. We're car singers. We have full-blown concerts. This is for anybody that doesn't know what reps do on the road.
Yeah.
Some of us talk. Some of us do, emails by voice dictation. And then there's the group of us that really sing.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know what the last song you sang in your car was.
I am a huge Garth Brooks fan.
Oh, okay.
Wow. I know every word to every song. He has the Garth channel on Sirius Radio, where every third song is a Garth song. It's a great station, by the way, because it's not all country. It's rock, it's pop, it's everything. But every third song you're guaranteed is going to be a Garth Brooks song. I do sing my heart out. I know all the words.
Can you give us a line? Give us a line.
One of my favorite songs is Thunder Rolls.
Okay.
Because you can really get your chops into it, and it's got that feeling of that man that's been cheating on his wife, and he comes home and she can smell the perfume on his shirt, and it's just like, oh, I get right into that one. It's a little bit, so that's one of my favorites, but I like all of them.
How does it go, Thunder Rolls? I've never heard that one.
Thunder Rolls? I'm not going to do that. I could do it in my car, George, with my windows up. It's a great song, and actually, I've seen him live in concert, and he's a wonderful entertainer. So
amazing.
So that's good.
Val, you've had a very interesting life, and I mean, it's obvious, and we're going to get into the business portion in just a minute. And I want to know if someone's going to make a movie about your life, okay, who is the actress you would pick to play your part, and who is the actor you would pick to play your lover?
The actress that I would pick to play me would have to be Meryl Streep.
Great.
She would have to be, because she's a character actress. She can be a bit of a chameleon, which I can be too. She can, and I admire all of her work. Her favorite being Sophie's Choice. I just love that movie. So that would be the answer to the first question. The second question would have to be Brad Pitt.
Brilliant.
Would have to be Brad Pitt, because he's just so sexy and so I love the way he's aged.
Yeah.
I love the way he's aged, and so I think it would have it would be Brad Pitt.
Oh, it's so good. So good. Okay.
Gosh.
Oh my God.
I love talking.
Watch it.
Yeah, I love talking to you,
That would
Valerie.
be great. Meryl Streep and Brad Pitt.
The energy you bring is just so good. I've got like my my hairs in the back of the neck sticking up just listening to you talk so passionately. So let's get into our industry. And like,
Yeah.
I've got to know you a lot better since we decided to bring you on the show. We've spoken on the phone a bit, and I must say, it's hard to find someone who is more passionate about this industry than you. And you just ooze passion for this industry. Why do you think our industry is so great, and what makes it so great?
Well, I think coming from my early days as an esthetician, I thought all I would ever be doing was manicure, pedicures, and facials.
Yeah.
So the way that I see that the whole entire industry has evolved, the equipment side of the business, the devices, the advanced technology that's now available in skincare products.
Right.
And when I know that we can really make and even surgical changes that have gone on, because surgical is a big part of my business as well. But I just feel that if to be in an industry where you can not only make people feel great about themselves and look better, that brings passion to me. But what really energizes me is helping people that have their own businesses develop their companies, because I feel, sometimes people don't actually understand what they're getting into when they open up a clinic. But I've been there, I've done that. I know the challenges, so I can speak to them about difficulties and how to overcome those types of difficulties from a personal experience point of view, not just from something I've read in a book. I've been there, I've managed big teams. So I just feel that I love the industry because of the fact we make people feel good and look better. I love the industry because I help people in their businesses thrive. And I love the industry because I can help people develop within their careers, whether they work for me or not. I'm friends with many competitors out there. I've been, I like to coach and really work with people, and I love to see them succeed. And that's what drives my energy and drives my passion. I just love that.
Awesome. And I've got one more question before I hand it back over to George. Your entrepreneurial spirit, like it seemed evident when you were a young kid, when you did that exercise with your grade 9 or grade 8 teacher.
Yes.
But what do you think was the defining moment in your career when you thought to yourself, you know what, I'm going to go give this a go and do something myself and start my own business?
I actually opened up my first business at 21. I'd been working at in an aesthetic clinic doing mainly electrolysis and waxing. My hours of work were 11 to 7 every single day. The owner didn't believe in lunches, so we'd eat between two bites between people. And I think I did that for about 6 months. And then at that 6-month time, I thought, I really think I could do this. Yeah. So with another partner who was the same age, we opened up a business in Mississauga called Professional Performance. And it was one of the very first day spas. And the timing was, we were really young. And then we both, we actually even opened up a aesthetic school where there was a school in Oakville that had gone out of business, and we ended up taking all of their students and actually finishing off their training. Wow. And then actually I left that business because actually I'd had a couple of complicated pregnancies and it was too difficult to work full time at that time. So that was a defining moment, jumping in at 21 and really learning a lot about the aesthetic industry. And then it just evolved from there. Like I had great opportunities. I had an opportunity with a day spa in Oakville where I put them through $1 million renovation. And I managed it. That was a great opportunity. I had a great opportunity when I worked for Clarion Medical, where I developed a skincare line for them. So I've had really great moments that have shaped the way the career and how it's developed. And it's true passion.
I love it.
True passion.
let's do a little bit of a shameless plug here, because I think you're most well known as a company for Zeo right now, because it's doing exceptionally well in our industry. But Zeo is just one small portion of everything you do in SCM.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Sorry.
shamelessly plug it all. Go for it.
Go for it. Okay, so yes, we are the Eastern Canada Zeo distributor. I'm very proud and honored to be representing that brand. But we also have another large portfolio that many people wouldn't know, which is our Marina garment business.
Yep.
So Marina garments are compression garments, post-surgical garments, and we work with most of the top surgeons, supplying them with garments. And not only plastic surgeons, but we work with cardiologists and general surgeons, because everybody will benefit from wearing compression. Yeah. We have I've got one here because I brought it for me to use today, the Glycidin enzymes. And Glycidin is a neutral cosmetic. I found this line years ago, about 10 years ago. And I introduced it to the Canadian market with Clarion at the time, did very well with it. And it's just kind of funny that the founder of Glycidin, after going through a couple of different companies to distribute the line, has come back to me because he said, Val, you were the person who really believed in taking a really super antioxidant like glycidin is. And in this world that we're living in now, all of us need to be taking a super enzyme. And glycidin is definitely something that I take every day. My husband takes it every day. And I think anyone with any skin condition benefits from rosacea to acne, even melasma. So I love carrying that one. I have Revivagen, which is a hair loss line. So I have a serum that works great with PRP. We have another skincare line called Skin Code, which is in our spa portfolio. So we sell that into traditional day spas. So it's just a lot of very interesting, really high quality products, but actually nothing competing with each other.
I love that. And I've actually
well together.
I had met the creator of Glycidin from Paris, and I can't remember his name for the life of me. Lovely, lovely man.
Lovely man, Francois Vix.
That was
a very smart scientist, and in many countries around the world, like Asia and South America and Mexico, they really believe in neutral cosmetics. Right. And it is definitely helps with whatever products you're using, just helps to maximize the action as well.
So as somebody that's got such a vast portfolio, and everything's got its position.
Yes.
You're always probably, I mean, as a distributor, you're always looking for something that's going to be the next innovation or the next thing with science backing it up, of course, right? Mm-hmm. What do you think is going to be the next big thing we're going to see coming out into the market?
Well, I think there's a lot of, I think you'll see a lot of different types of delivery systems that will be introduced. I think you might see some epidermal patches, delivery systems that way. I think you might see some CBD oils and creams coming to market. So I think everything changes, everything evolves. And that's what's so great about working with the Zeo Skin Health line, is because they have adopted a continuous innovation side, and they work with some really top scientists throughout the world. So I just think that there'll be a lot more delivery system advances, and even the way that they're manipulating raw ingredients now and getting botanical extracts that really do go to deep levels in the tissue, and biomimetic proteins and peptides. Like there's a lot of really exciting stuff in the pipeline.
Amazing.
To come.
I can't wait to get my hands on it all, Val.
No,
We'll all be young forever.
Yes.
Be young forever.
Speaking of which, we got to say that Val was really kind enough to send us a whole. Oh, you brought yours on? You're such a little cheater trying to show me up. Mine's in the bathroom because I'm using it. It's all lined up. And she sent us a whole little like line of products, and I'm going to get on the phone with you because I got to ask you when I use what. But
I've already done that, George. I printed it out. It's next to my little.
I have a special request with my firming eye gel. A sourdough bread. I want to put the eye gel on.
And then eat the bread.
You know, like that's going to be our girl date. That's it. You and I, that's going to be our girl date. And we're going to sing Garth Brooks. And I don't know any Garth Brooks, but you making sour bread dough, I'm there, babe.
Have a great time. Yeah.
So Val, you've been an inspirational leader in your career. You've managed people. You've done 36 amazing years in this industry, and you're still going strong and with so much passion. But I want to bring this up because we need to talk about mental health, because I think it's a really important thing. And what do you think as a community we can be doing to support people going through mental health?
Mm-hmm. I just feel that mental health is nothing to be ashamed of. I believe that all of us should reach out to people, particularly people that are lonely or might be struggling. Reach out to them, do that little, how you doing?
Yeah.
Maybe even those people that you know, you're going to be on the phone with them for an hour, and you might not have an hour. But if you know that they're struggling, take that hour, because you might never have another chance to have that hour.
I appreciate that answer. I think it's a wonderful answer.
Yeah.
And lastly, before we go to the fun part of the evening and George gets to ask his quick-fire questions, young Val meets Val today.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one piece of advice you would give yourself before you started your career?
Well, I think if young Val met Val now, young Val would say, "Holy shit, you've done good."
I love that.
I think that's what young Val would say. Whoa.
Yeah.
The advice. So the question was the advice that Val now would give young Val.
Yes.
Is that the question?
Yes. Right.
So it would be, do not sweat the small stuff, and the universe will unfold the way it's supposed to.
Do you know, that's a great answer. And so many of our guests, they don't say it exactly that way, but so many of our guests say very similar things. So it's amazing how, you know, it's been like that. I love that answer.
Yeah. And I think what happens when you really believe that, and as you've gone through life experiences, sometimes people can think and they'll look at you and they'll go, does anything really upset her? And the answer is probably not really that much, because everything is solvable.
Yeah.
And really, you know, like the world does unfold. And I'm a believer in that for sure.
Wow.
I'm at a loss for words.
I want to keep going. I've got like about a million other questions I could ask you.
Well, Nathan, you just want to steal my thunder, so I'm not going to let it happen. It's time for the quick fire questions, Val.
Okay.
Are you ready?
How do I play this game?
Okay. I'm going to ask you some questions. I don't want you to put too much thought into it.
Yeah.
I want you to say the first answer that pops into your mind. You are allowed one pass.
Okay.
Okay?
One pass.
What's your favorite thing in your closet right now?
A new orange silk dress that I got, and I wore it nearly every single day on every Zoom training I did through COVID.
Amazing. What's your guilty food pleasure?
Can it be a drink?
Yes. Yes.
White wine.
White wine. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Dark.
Sour candies or ice cream?
Sour candies.
If you could be from any other era or decade, which would it be?
It would be the late 1700s American history.
Wow.
Ooh. Your house is on fire. What two things do you run back in to get?
My wallet.
Okay. iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Any tattoos?
No.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Superpower. I would fly.
Okay. Do you prefer texting or talking?
Now texting.
You can either speak every language in the world or communicate directly with animals.
Every language in the world.
Okay. Well, your ultimate best friend would be Beyonce or Rihanna?
Beyonce.
White or whole wheat?
White.
French fries or potato chips?
Fries.
Yoga or Pilates?
Pilates.
Intimacy or pizza?
Intimacy.
Ooh, I would have gone with the pizza. You're going to the fashion event of the year. Which designer is dressing you?
Chanel.
Okay. Dream vacation spot.
Bali.
You get to have dinner with God, and you're granted one question. What would you ask?
With God. Oh, I'd ask him how the people were in my life that had passed away.
That's a great question. White wine or skincare?
Skincare. Without skincare.
Intimacy.
Without wine either, but I definitely couldn't live without skincare.
Intimacy or skincare?
Skincare.
Nathan or me?
Both of you.
That's a good answer.
You're so adorable. Has to be at the top.
Well, now I know that I got to bring over some white wine, and you're gonna have some sour bread dough. We're gonna have a whole day of it. I want to take a moment and just say a massive thank you to being on the show. I know how busy you are, especially because, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a little smart remark here. I find that ever since COVID happened, that all our accounts, all the industry people, all the med spas, doctors, cosmetics offices have a higher respect for skincare sales because it carried them through their doors being shut. So I know how busy you are.
100%. 100%.
I know how busy you are. And I think
it's so true. And I'm so glad. Thank you for saying that, because it's really made them understand that skincare is a viable, and it is not just an add-on, it is a department, and it needs to be treated like a department. And sometimes they put a lot of emphasis on expensive technologies, and they think, oh, we got to keep that machine busy all the time. And they just add like skincare is well, it's good, nice to have. But really, you're right. When the doors were closed, skincare sales were still happening. So
I know how busy you are because things have been booming for you, as with many companies. And I hope that for many, many years to come, things continue to boom with you. I want to say thank you for being on the show. I want to also say thank you for sending us stuff out. You don't have to do that. And that was out of the kindness of your heart. And I'm lucky to be able to try it and use it. And I'm lucky to be able to talk about what a fan I am. And I can't wait to get the sourdough and the eye firming cream that's about to launch on October 9th.
I promise you, George, you will be one of the first.
Oh, well.
Have you ever thought about doing a gift with purchase? Buy a firming eye cream and get a sourdough bread made by us.
Sourdough. You should start marketing your sourdough.
Don't give me any more ideas, George. Don't give me any more ideas.
You know
what, Nathan? I'm going to do a post on Instagram, and I'm going to write it down so I don't forget it. Would you buy a firming eye gel by Zio after its launch if it came with a gift with purchase sourdough? And I'm going to tag you to get the post in there.
I bet you will be doing
the recipe. How about that?
Yeah. We'll be doing an interview now in 6 months' time, and Val will be launching her sourdough business.
So I'm going to pass you off to Nathan, but again, a huge thank you, and a thank you for being such a leader in our industry. I've never met anybody that has anything negative to say about you, and that's a big thing.
Thank you.
You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, George.
Thank you.
Before I do my thank yous, Val, I've got two more questions to go. They're two of the most important questions of the night. Because we're called Skinterviews, we always have to relate it back to the skin. It was so good getting to know you tonight. What's your current skincare routine?
Currently, I use the exfoliating cleanser every single day in the morning. Then I polish every day with the exfoliating polish. I use the Daily Power Defense. And I follow that with a product right now that I'm using, which is called Bright Alive, because I got a little pigment throughout the summer. Okay. And then obviously the SPF 30 primer, which I love. And then at nighttime, I switch it up. I go aggressive with my nighttime routine. So I'm doing my cleansing. I'm doing my toning with the complexion renewal pads again. I also use Daily Power Defense in the evening. And right now I'm using the firming serum, the new firming serum that you guys tried. Wow. And then I use the growth factor serum on top of that right now. And the eye cream is the intensive eye repair that I use, and I like that product. But like you, George, I can't wait to get my hands on new growth factor serum. I'm just like, my phone's been blowing up. Can we try it? Can we sample? I'm like, you can't try it because I haven't tried it yet. But as soon as I'm
doing the happy dance. I'm like, I'm catching myself.
So that's my current routine, and it does change. It changes seasonally, and and if I'm trying to, maybe sometimes I'll do a peel, like an at-home peel with our Radical Night Repair, which is our 1% retinol. So I kind of switch it up to get the very best results.
Awesome. And for all you viewers out there, if you are watching, take a photo of the screen right now, because you can get hold of Val and her team at Zeo Skin Health _SCM. And I just told you all the people that are listening on podcasts, so write that down. Send them a message on Instagram, and they'll be able to direct you to a clinic near you where you can go and check out some of the great Zeo products. Last question of the night, Val, before we let you go. Who would you like us to interview next on the show?
So many great people in the industry. I love Leslie Fletcher out of Injectability from Torrance, California. She's a friend of mine. I like her. I work very closely with Dr. Doug Grace in Oakville, who's got some interesting things happening right now. So I think either one of those would be great people that you could interview.
Awesome. We're going to send you an email after this, and we'll get hold of their contact details, and we'll get them on the show for you. And Val, I can't say thank you enough. It's been amazing getting to know you more. I can't wait till this virus goes away so we can meet in person. I want to give you the biggest hug because you just ooze so much personality, and it's just been so wonderful getting to know you. And we'll have a glass of white wine with some of your sourdough.
Absolutely. Promise. Warm right out of the oven.
Love it.
So to all you viewers out there, we're going to go to a message from our sponsor, and then George is going to come back to close the show. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Honey, what did you think of the show? This is my baby. This is my baby. This is my whole life. Everyone's got their babies. Everyone's got their things that are important to them, whether it's your skincare, whether it's your company, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends. You know, we got to spend time, and we got to give that time and really love everyone around us. I absolutely love something that most of our guests have been saying is, you know what? Don't sweat out the small stuff. The universe has your back. But Val said something really important tonight. Everything is solvable. There's nothing that you can't solve and nothing that you can't overcome. And when we come together, whether we are competitors, whether we are from different industries, whether we're just friends that want to have a good ear, when we support each other, we lift each other up, and we find those sweet, unique ways of showing love to each other, that is so important about everything we do. And the same love we show to each other, and the same love we show to our business, and the same love we show to our pets or our children or our friends or our cousins or whatever that might be, I want you to take a minute and show that same amount of love to your skin. That's right. Love your skin, treat it well, or I will come find you and kick your butt. Right, honey? What do you think about that? Yeah, you like that. Also, don't forget, October 19th, Firming Eye Gel releases by Zeo. But just as important, Skinterviews on Location launches with its first episode. We're looking so forward to you guys seeing it because we've done this whole thing virtually, and now we're coming to a location near you. If you're interested in getting in contact with us because you'd like Skinterviews at your location, you can find us on Instagram at skin.terviews, of course on Facebook and LinkedIn under Skinterviews by Nathan and George. To catch all our episodes, to listen to our amazing podcasts from all our guests, or to be part of the business Skin Insider, new blog posts and podcasts that we'll be launching soon, you can visit therevenuedoctors.com and look for the tab for Skinterviews, and you'll find all the information there. Mad love to you all. Have a wonderful night, day, evening, whenever it is you're watching or listening, and take care of your skin. Or Val will kick your butt. Have a good night.